her whole narrative in the last year has been very victimized. Like she's been playing the victim for the last year, and those are the traits of someone who is in active addiction. That is an addict behavior, as they say. And it just, none of this surprises me, you guys. None of it. So
picture of, oh my God, she runs a trap house.
I think, again, this vocabulary of trap house is kind of blowing things out of proportion. So people hear that and they think, oh my God, that's wild and crazy. You don't have to, people have this image in their head of what a trap house is. You don't have to be running a trap house for it to not be a good establishment for children to be.
So true, so true. So a couple points from this comment. Her saying, people are saying I'm running a trap house, because she goes to the most extreme example. No one's really saying no one ever said you're running a trap house, Jessica. All we have said is that there is using going on, there's allegations of selling going on, and it's very obvious that is the case. No one ever said trap house. She just throws the most extreme example and then deflects with, oh, I'm not running a trap house. No, not a trap. That's crazy. See what she's doing? She's totally deflecting it. And her deflecting like that and not addressing things head on, not addressing things specifically, is just every single video she posts, it makes her look so much more guilty. Jessica has not said a single sentence that has made me think she is not guilty of what she's been accused of. In fact, it makes me wonder what else we don't know. It actually makes me more suspicious of you. If you guys rocking with that opinion, you rocking with that, throw that shit in the chat. You know what I mean? I mean, that just basic shit to me, man. I mean, to me, it's obvious, but I got, your boy got a little street smarts on it, so let's go.
Running around in and be spending time in. It doesn't have to be a trap house. There can be other things happening in the four walls of a home that has nothing to do with running a trap house, but it is still cause for concern, and it's not that hard to figure out. She mentioned again how she initially laughed all of this off because they are crazy rumors and she's been hearing them forever.
And at first when I started seeing all of it, I'll be honest, I kind of laughed it off because I've heard crazy rumors about myself that weren't true this whole time. So I was like, that's insane. That's insane. No one's going to think that. No one's going to believe that. Like,
before she has her rebuttal, Jessica, no, there's never been public accusations like this, even close to what's going on right now. So she's just trying, again, deflecting. Say, oh, no, yeah, it's just, no, they've been accusing me of this stuff for years, you guys. Jessica, no, there has been no text messages. There's been no direct evidence. There has been nothing. So you're deflecting again, and we see right through your bullshit. Like, it's obvious. Like, just, Jessica, if you're watching this, just stop trying to defend yourself, because you look like literally retarded. And excuse me when I say that word, I don't mean that in a bad way, but seriously, Jessica, like, just please, for your own sake, just, actually, no, don't stop making videos, because it's actually very entertaining, but for your own good, stop making videos.
And I will refer back to what I just said. I've been a long-time subscriber of hers. I never saw people running around saying that there were alleged, drug activities going on in her home and, talking about buying Xans and Adderalls and all this kind of stuff. Like, I didn't see it, but if you guys did and I just totally missed it, use the comments as...
Yeah, Brittney's kind of basically in a nutshell saying the same thing I did. I've been a subscriber of hers since, I think I was a subscriber to her since she's had like 60, 70,000 subs. And yeah, this has never happened. So again, just deflecting.
A way to fill me in. The thing I will say about laughing off, quote, crazy rumors is that nothing about this situation is funny. There is nothing that I have seen personally where if I saw it, I would laugh at it.
Seriously.
I've seen some things about myself online that I'll laugh at because they're just so stupid and not rooted in fact or anything, and I can laugh at it and kind of move on. But all of the things that we have been discussing with this Jessica Kent situation, none of it is funny, and none of it's even like a dark sense of humor. I know that Jess likes to remind everybody how she has a dark sense of humor, and it's a trauma response and goes back to her mental health and stuff. Even with
Imagine that. It goes back to her mental health. You know what I mean? Mental health. Mental health. My mental health. Don't you see? It was Reese's fault, not Jason's. Jason just... Never mind.
with a dark sense of humor, nothing about these allegations is funny. Even if you're trying to make light of a bad situation, none of it's funny.
Yeah, this isn't exactly the time to make light of a bad situation. I mean, it's not like someone said, "Oh yeah, hey, by the way, do you know Jess like had a threesome with someone?" Like, no, this isn't just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 accusations. This is like a lot of accusations, a lot of like evidence. Like this, if this was like a case in a court of law and we needed to find Jessica Kent guilty of using methamphetamine, or well, let's say this, guilty of using illicit substances, she would be found guilty by circumstantial evidence because there is just so much evidence that she is getting high. There is so much evidence. So much evidence. Like, it's actually like, there's like so many things pointing to her using. It's almost like so much to like, it's a lot to remember. And it's like, that's why when I've talked about it, like, it's like, there's so many points I could bring up, but it's almost overwhelming with how much evidence there is. So
She did mention how she believed that the Ride or Die crew would not believe anything that was being said about this situation.
My reputation is good enough online to where most people, the Ride or Die crew, they're never going to believe that I am putting my babies in harm's way or that I'm using or that I'm selling. But looking back through everything, looking from the outside in, I would believe it too.
And she knows that she has some people that have that parasocial bond with her, because to automatically assume that your Ride or Die crew is not going to believe text message screenshots and emails that were printed out from the prison communication system, to think that people are not going to believe that, you have to be acknowledging that people are parasocially connected and just refuse to believe anything negative that they see, even if it is literal proof sitting right in their face. She really wanted the drama to go away so that she could just start making content again. She wanted all of this to just go away.
And I understand why people think that I'm in a full-blown relapse. I understand how it could look like I am being reckless. To be completely transparent, I just wanted the drama to just go away so I could get back to me again, so I could get back to making the content that I love and the vlogs that I love and the art that I love, because...
Of course she wants it to just go away. Because, listen, she is an addict in active addiction. And her only source of income... Well, I guess she makes money on TikTok too, but I mean, TikTok's the same thing. She's a recovery influencer. So her cash cow, and see, this is why it's a tricky thing. If your livelihood depends on you making videos and you're this huge recovery influencer and you've made all these statements that you're 100% sober, and then, oh wait, I'm not 100% sober, marijuana, and then you slowly divert. It's like, it's a slippery slope, because you know, shall you relapse, that's all your money. So, you know, from Jessica's point of view, I totally get why she is trying to make this go away, why she's deflecting. Of course I get it. Shit, if I was in her situation, I may even be doing the same thing. But the thing is though, is I would never be in this situation. So I can't really, accurately answer that because I would never let myself get to this situation. But I mean, let's say theoretically, if I was in her situation, yeah, I would be trying to deflect the shit out of it because she depends on it, but it's not helping her though. Like at some point she's got to step back and look at this and be like, wow, I'm really digging myself my own grave. And that's probably why she hasn't been posting as much. And she should really just post nothing. But something about Jessica, I don't know if it's her ego or her just overvalued importance of self or what it is. But, she just feels the need to keep posting and posting. But hey, come on with it, girl. That's entertainment for me. I mean, it's not entertainment. Well, wait. Yeah, it is entertainment. Yeah. Sorry about that. Okay, yeah, just come on now. Come on, keep voting video. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Come on, Jessica.
I have been robbed from that for a long time, and I just wanted that to just go away, so that because I wanted that back. So
she is such a manipulator. She is just the way she said that. I just wanted to go away.
Badly. Still do. I rushed to put out the video where I showed my prescription, and I did say that I am helping people, and I said that I could have a responsible relationship with alcohol, and I can maybe eventually. I'm a long ways from that right now.
The way that you get things like this to go away is to confront them head on. And based on what I've seen, I haven't seen any direct addressing of the things that people are actually concerned about, and I think that's why people were also super frustrated with this video that she put out. It's just been missed opportunity after missed opportunity, word salad after word salad.
And that's the problem. See, by her deflecting, her word is becoming so much less valuable. And once you go back on your word, you can't regain it. You can. It's going to take 20 times as long to regain it as it takes to lose it. Probably 50 times. But yeah, man, her taking the defensive route, I get why she's doing it, but it really has hurt her opinion on YouTube. But the thing is, she's probably still going to be able to make decent money no matter what on YouTube. But then again, like I've said in the past, I've seen big channels, fall off before. So who knows what's in the future for Jessica Kent.
And people are confused, frustrated, and just kind of over it at this point. She mentioned how she has a friend who will enable her, and she also has a friend who will, kind of guide her in the right direction.
I have a lot of people in my corner, and they're all across the United States. Some are in Illinois, some are not in Illinois. But I go to one friend when I want to be enabled. I go to one friend when I want to be told about myself and told, nah, bitch, you're wrong. So I listen to the harsh one a little bit more, if I'm being honest.
Someone who is a full-on enabler to...
Is it just me, or does everything that comes out of Jessica's mouth sound like recycled garbage from a freaking NA meeting? Seriously, everything she says is just recycled bull. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just calling a spade a spade. Every single thing she said is just the most cliche, recycled, overused, doesn't even seem like she believes it. It's she just words just spew out of her mouth, and there is just no meaning associated with those words. It's just like she said, a word salad. It's just coming out, but there's no value to what she says because she's lied so many times. And that's part of the thing. That's part of the disease or the diagnosis of antisocial personality disorder. People who have that disorder mimic other people's emotions. They say the things that you think you want them to say, or they mimic a feeling, or they mimic this because they can't feel like a normal person can on their own. And shit, that's a sad reality. And that's, I can't even imagine dealing with that, I really can't. And so I don't know, you guys, let's get back into the video. But Just a side note.
To me, I wouldn't call them my friend. And that's just a total side note. A lot of times
Jinx, you owe me a soda.
when these YouTubers are given money and a platform and attention and all of this good stuff starts rolling in, if you have one enabler that you consider a close friend, that could be a recipe for disaster, especially when we're talking about things like addiction and people that are struggling with mental health. That's the period of time when you don't need any enabler. And if it is someone who is enabling you, it's probably because they're benefiting from you, usually financially.
Yeah, you guys ever see Jessica? She's always got that one fat chick with her at the bar. There's always these pictures of Jessica that surface with this, like, sorry, I didn't mean to say fat, but overweight girl at the bar with her. I think that may be her enabler. I'll try to get a picture of that, but what Brittney is saying is spot on. Salute to you, Brittney. I've agreed with every single thing she said. Couldn't have said it better myself, so.
And that's just someone that I would not want in my close circle, especially not to call them a friend. She addresses how many mistakes that she has made on YouTube and how much grace her audience has given her. And I think that for the most part, she does get emotional here, and she's like, trolls say that I'm fake crying, and she mentions a body language analysis video. I don't know what body language analysis expert on YouTube is analyzing Jessica Kent, but if you guys know, link their video down below.
I think she might be talking about me, because I did call her out, and, well, yeah, I don't know if she's talking about me or not. Hey, last time I checked, I wasn't a body language analysis expert. She was probably being sarcastic, obviously, but I'd have to look back in some of my old videos to see if that's really what's going on.
Or drop the channel name.
I said that to say this. There is a lot of feedback online concerning my circle, and a lot of people are concerned that I don't have anyone in my life that is positive, that is not enabling me, that is actually holding me accountable and telling me that I'm wrong, telling me that I'm messing up, telling me what areas need to be fixed, and I do. I also have a therapist, and I'm in therapy. I have made a lot of mistakes in personal relationships, professional relationships, this platform, my past, my present. I'm a walking train wreck. I make mistakes all the time. And throughout my career online, you guys have given me so much grace and so much patience and so much love. And I don't know if I have articulated to you guys how much I appreciate it, because it always makes me cry. And I don't know, every time that I get emotional and I choke back tears, trolls online want to say that I'm fake crying, or they'll do reaction videos or body language analysis videos. So even sitting here right now, I'm uncomfortable, and I don't.
It's because her cries are the most forced, fake, just along with everything else she does is so forced. So there's no emotion, there's no substance, it doesn't take a body language analysis expert to see that, Jessica. When someone's behaving like this, when you see someone who is forcing themselves to do it, that's because her heart isn't really in it anymore. When you watch Jessica's old videos, her heart was truly in the content she was making, because she was most likely actually working a program of recovery. Like, at this point, Jessica is just someone who was an addict and is seemingly still in active addiction. Doesn't really seem like she has anything to do with the recovery community. She doesn't like AA, doesn't like NA, doesn't like meetings. And I guess her way to sobriety is marijuana, alcohol, and Adderall. It's just terrible advice for the young women that look up to her, and men too. And it's just damaging. So this whole narrative of, like, leave Jessica alone, she's a human being, da 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 da. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. I'm sorry. It really is. It's just, we're calling us, and no one here is like attacking Jessica. Like, really, we're just pointing out the clearly obvious, and to support her and to have her like continue her channel is a disservice to the community. Like, I don't care who she is. She doesn't deserve a platform to keep going based on lies, manipulation, deceit, revenge. Like, she is like the poster child for everything you want to do. She's like the girl at an NA meeting who got her 30-day chip for the fucking 200th time. Like, she is doing everything in recovery. Like, she's not doing anything to actively better herself. So I'm done with that rant, but you guys get the picture.
Don't know. I don't really know what to say, but I'll just show you guys, you know, because I could sit here all day and tell you that I'm fine, tell you that I'm good, tell you that I'm not in relapse, tell you that there's no one using or selling in my house. But if it's me watching, I wouldn't believe it. So I'm just going to show you guys.
Most people are very willing to give grace because nobody is perfect. Literally nobody on this platform, nobody in this world is perfect. We're all going to make mistakes. The reason that people are run out now is because there is so much evidence out there to show this story and this image of what was going on with Jessica and Mindy and this, you know, party and stuff. And Mindy has addressed it and she has taken accountability for her role in it. But we have Jessica throwing people under the bus and, you know, really using mental health and trauma and all of that as a sort of like a safety shield. And that's just...
For sure, Brittany. Couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more myself. I think in her last 3 videos, she said mental health like over 20 times. Mental health.
It's my opinion. She mentions again how she wants to be the content making queen that she was before. I feel like making content again would be the last thing on my mind, especially with the whole wanting to be able to have alcohol with dinner again. Like, all of that kind of stuff will be last on my list.
I'm going to get back to filming and doing art and traveling and collabing and going on podcast and doing all the things that I love. I'm going to get back into writing my book, and it starts little by little because it is so hard to pull myself out of a depression. And I feel as though on a daily basis there are new things being done to emotionally abuse me, and not just from one person. And it's just been a lot to digest. Am I perfect? Absolutely the fuck not. Am I working every day to get back to the crazy content creating queen that I used to be? Yes, absolutely. It's a process though. I have a lot of work to do.
Don't care about any of that. There are other things that need to be confronted head on because you are a public figure and you have built your audience by using recovery and showing them a little bit more as time has gone on. And that's why people just don't trust it at this point.
It's exactly true. I mean, she, like I've said this so many times, you guys, she built her whole brand based on the premise that she was 100% sober, 100% abstinent. And listen, you guys, I have no problem with someone that does Adderall, that does Xanax, that does this. Do whatever you want to do. Do whatever you want to do. But, you know, when you get that big, when you get 500,000 subscribers, when you're at that level, when you're at 100,000, when you're at 50,000 subscribers, you have an obligation to make things clear, because now when you're at that level, you are an influencer. You are and you know why they call it an influencer? Because you are influencing other people. Okay, so you're a role model to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of men and women. And when you are telling them, well, first of all, she didn't cop out to the weed until she had like 500,000 subscribers, maybe a little bit less, maybe 450, 500,000 subscribers. She cops out. By the way, I use medical marijuana. I was just scared to tell you guys. Then 6 months later, oh, by the way, you guys, I'm on ADHD medication. Another 6 months later, oh yeah, by the way, you guys, I've been drinking. Little bit, a month or so after that, oh, actually, you guys, I've been drinking every day. I'm an alcoholic. But I want to get back to the place where I can drink safely. And I'm not saying that's not possible. I'm just saying that is highly unlikely you're going to be able to do that. And also, it is extremely misleading to the audience. Like, you are a recovery YouTuber. That's what you built your whole base of your channel on. And now you're just backtracking and saying, no, I'm not even a part of the recovery community. No, It's such bullshit, you guys. It's such caparoni. It's just, no.
Because initially it was, oh, well, I'm using medical, or I'm using marijuana. Then I'm drinking a little bit. Then I'm struggling with alcohol. And now the whole thing with Mindy and the pills and the buying the pills off the street, getting a prescription. So it's just a whole mess. And I use the analogy in my last video of the magician trick where it's like the scarf, like the never-ending scarf.
Yup.
People just aren't sure, like, okay, is this actually it? And if it is it, let's address everything head on and just go ahead and hash it out now. She did claim that she would just tell the audience if a relapse was happening. I don't want to dissect this too much, but what I will say is I respectfully disagree.
I know you guys understand that. So much so that if I did relapse, I would just tell you guys, just like I did with alcohol.
Based on history. And that's what I'll say about that. Now, she addresses the YouTube recovery community, and I will include a clip of that, but I am not going to give commentary on it because I am not involved in the recovery community. I don't know what it feels like to be in that community, either on YouTube or in real life. So I will include a clip for context. But if y'all are part of that community and you have thoughts, please sound off down below. The floor is yours.
And that is what I said about the recovery community in my last video. I watched that video back and it sounds like I said I'm not involved in the recovery community at all, when I was really just trying to kind of share how my personal recovery came about. I don't know. It makes no sense. I was trying to describe to you guys what my journey in recovery looked like, and that wasn't part of a 12-step program. You know, I was court-ordered, forced to do the program, but my personal journey in recovery has come by myself until I started this channel, until I met you guys and started filming videos. Before YouTube, I was alone in this. So the love and positivity that I have seen in the recovery community has come online, and I did not make that clear at all. The only thing that I meant to articulate is that I'm alone. You know, I'm just sitting in this room by myself talking to a camera.
More victimizing. I'm alone. I was alone in this. It's just, she always is looking for a way to be the victim, seemingly. I mean, maybe not. Maybe it's just a quirk of hers. Maybe it's just something she accidentally does, but it's always like alone, trauma, mental health. Like, are you guys kind of catching on to like how often it's always the victim? It's a very consistent theme.
Right? So I'm not involved in the recovery community in the same way as a lot of other people that actively go to 12-step meetings and things like that. The only time I go to a 12-step meeting is if someone wants me to give them a chip or a tag or just be there for them. I don't go for my own recovery, and that is what I was trying to explain. And it didn't come out that way at all. I do work with a treatment center, and I do actively help people find recovery.
You work with a treatment center, but you make commission. So you can't really say... Don't spin the narrative that you're helping people. Sure, yes, because you know how I know this, you guys? Because I was a marketer in Florida for a treatment center. I made money off getting people into treatment. So may you help someone get to treatment? Yes, you may, but your sole purpose, or I mean, not your sole purpose. Maybe I'll speak for myself, but you're making money off of it. So that's not a form of the 12th step. That's not a form of giving back. Giving back is sponsoring someone. Giving back is, answering a phone call when you're busy, when you don't have time to, and not telling people about it or posting videos on Facebook. Doing the right thing when no one's looking.
Recovery in my personal life and professional life. And my recovery changed over time. I went from abstinent-based recovery to cannabis. And then I went through one of the most traumatic experiences in recent memory.
She touches on, healing the that she's been through recently. She mentions, again, being able to have a drink at dinner a few times a year. And then she goes into this, you guys want to talk about the drama, the he said, she said, and screenshots. There's so much that she wants to say, but she won't say it. She will take the hate instead of causing harm to someone's recovery or freedom.
I have to be just firm in my boundaries and firm in my dedication to get healthy, not just for me, but for my babies. And when I say healthy, I just mean healing the insane amount of emotional abuse and damage that has been done to me.
More victim. That's like one of the first sentences in a diagnosis for someone with antisocial personality disorder is they, you know, they place blame on others frequently.
I do want to say before I forget that I am deeply sorry for anyone that I might have hurt with my last video when I said that I wasn't part of the recovery community. I want to apologize for...
Jessica, no one cares about that. No, what you need to stop doing and hurting people is giving people bad advice and telling people, oh yeah, I'll just get back to drinking. I'll get back to where I can drink responsibly again. Like, why would you that's what you need to apologize about. Seriously.
Just being kind of reckless in my verbiage, saying that, I can drink and this is my medication and I smoke weed and blah, blah, blah. Okay, maybe I can, but that doesn't mean that everyone can. And in terms of my alcohol use, like I said in the beginning, maybe one day I can get back to having a drink at dinner a couple times a year, but I am a really long way away from that. Also, I do know that you guys want to talk about drama.
I'm a really long time away from that. Oh, goodness gracious, Jessica, I'm so glad you finally just came out and said it. It was alcohol. It was alcohol. Oh, I'm so proud of you. Come on, Jessica. Come on. Seriously? Alcohol?
And he said, she said, and receipts and text messages. There is so much I want to say. There's so much I want to say. I want to defend myself, which I'm learning as a...
Okay. Well, I would highly suggest, Jessica, that you don't defend yourself. But yeah, just don't say anything.
I'm a response, so is oversharing. So I love that for me. That's why I have such great dark humor. There is so much that I want to say, but there's so much that I won't say, if that makes sense, because I would rather take hate.
No, there's a lot of things you won't say because of CPS, because of that, which is understandable. But you can say something without saying it, if that makes sense. I said this in the last video. You could just simply say, you guys, my life is really confusing right now. I'm going through a lot mentally, and there's just plainly a lot of stuff I cannot talk about on YouTube. And that's it. Boom, bam, boom. Stop making videos. Start going back to meetings. Get yourself a sponsor. Well, she doesn't work the 12 steps or whatever. But I think she really should work the 12 steps, and it could help her ASPD diagnosis. It could stop her from being so selfish, because the whole premise of like AANA is about giving back and being part of the community and humbling yourself. And if she actually truly did that, which I don't think she can, because she's the queen and she thinks so highly of herself. And I'm honestly not saying that to be mean. I'm just telling the truth. It is what it is. So I'd like to see her, say something like that, maybe go back, get into the program, humbling herself, because you guys, the thing is like using drugs, using alcohol, doing all this stuff is just a symptom of the disease of alcoholism and addiction. That's not the main cause. The main cause is because we are naturally selfish people. And we suffer from the phenomenon of craving, and when you get into the programs, it really forces you to look at that stuff head on. And I've seen people that have been like extremely selfish, maybe narcissistic type people, who have turned it around, and they're humble. They give back to others. They do things so like miracles really can happen, and I truly wish Jessica would look at it from that lens, but she's gonna do what she's gonna do. So
online every day of the week, then cause harm in someone else's life, recovery, freedom. And if that means that some of you guys just won't believe me, then I'll take it. I signed up for all of this. I shared a lot. Maybe some of it I shouldn't have, but I know where my mental health is, and I know I have a really good support system. I don't necessarily know what other people's mental health is like, and I don't want to cause harm, and that might sound like bullshit to you guys. And if it does, I'm sorry.
I wonder why.
I just don't think it's responsible or necessary to continue to rehash he said, she said, especially when I know damn well that it could cause harm in someone.
Okay, rehash he said, she said, but you haven't addressed a single thing. You haven't said that, you never denied that the text messages are real. You haven't addressed anything. So, I mean, you haven't even started a hash, much less a rehash. Shit. Come on, girl.
someone else's life. Like,
let's remember that we are in this situation because Jessica kicked this thing off.
Yep.
She came for Mindy's recovery and her mental health and wanted to open a can of worms by trying to say Mindy was a snitch and all of this kind of stuff. Mindy stood up for herself, and the snowball continued to build up over the last few weeks.
So true, so true. So for anyone that is out there that says, oh, leave Jessica alone, that's messed up, drama, like, Jessica literally started this whole thing by her own toxic behavior. And in the recovery community, especially like being someone who has so many subscribers, like someone who is this toxic and this selfish and this self-absorbed and just unhonest and just a nasty freaking human being does not need a freaking platform influencing hundreds of thousands of people. Like, think about the ripple effect that has. One person on the internet influencing, I mean, and I know there's other influencers out there who are bad influences too, but this is the recovery community. You know, we're supposed to do the right thing. And I don't know, you guys. I just, that's how I feel about it. And I really, there's just so much to digest.
I really don't appreciate when people call really serious things drama. For me, when I hear someone call something serious drama, it's a way of like discounting the importance of the said situation. Drama.
Totally agree. This Brittney is extremely intelligent. I rock with you, Brittney. Shit, with your Snapchat, girl. But no, seriously though, she hit the freaking nail on the head. Drama channels. None of these are really drama channels. They're all recovery channels that have been watching you, Jessica, and who probably were inspired by you at some point to start their own channel, you know? But we're all just confused, disappointed, and just like, kind of like, what is going on? Like, why has your behavior changed so much in the last year? And there's a pretty simple explanation. Drugs.
Is much more lighthearted. I don't look at things like addiction, someone really struggling with their mental health, someone being bullied. I don't look at that kind of stuff as just drama. Someone being a little shady once in a while, someone being silly online. Yeah, sure, those are drama topics, but everything involved in this situation, I would not label a single part of it drama. She reminds everyone that she doesn't want to cause any harm because it's not necessary. She's not going to reference other people anymore on her channel.
Many other people, some of which never decided to even step foot in front of a camera. The goal of all of my videos is education, mental health, prison reform, recovery. It's not to cause harm or division or start drama on the internet. Anytime that I make a mistake with that, or I see that I've caused harm, I see that I did something that wasn't okay, or if I see that I've used my platform irresponsibly.
No, and I will speak on one more thing as far as the drama spin. You notice how the common narratives in her thing are deflecting, placing the blame on others, like just a total diversion. Like she said, it's like the never-ending freaking rope or whatever. But as far as her saying this is drama, like, I'm actually really proud of the recovery community for coming together and holding her accountable, because literally, like, if it wasn't for like a few, like a bunch of people coming together and like making these videos, and like, because if we, people can say, oh, you're a drama channel this, you're a drama channel that, and that's all fine and good, but the thing is like, if we don't make these videos, if we don't post on Reddit, if we don't address it, then it just kind of like blows away in the wind. And that's what happened 6 months ago when I was kind of calling Jessica out on the whole situation when Reese relapsed. It was like a bunch of people agreed with me, and then it kind of just like, you know, fizzled away and it died out and everyone forgot about it. And the same exact thing would happen here. If Mindy would have just released that stuff and no one made videos about it, no one made a Reddit video about it, it would have just blown away in the wind. Jessica would have like maybe taken a few weeks off and then came back and kept making, you know, however many hundreds of thousands of dollars off lies, bad information, bad advice, toxic behavior, no accountability. She's literally making money from spreading just terrible information to people. So yes, I do have a fucking problem with that. I do. That's just, you know, it just is what it is. I mean, I don't really have a problem with it. Yeah, wait, yes, I do. I do kind of have I don't know. I don't know if I have a problem with it. I think that it just needs to come to light because it's doing more harm than good. I'll say it like that.
I will immediately own it, and I did all of those things. So moving forward,
She said, I will completely own it, and I did all of those things. Like, she did not look like she even believed herself. Let's go back.
I did something that wasn't okay, or if I see that I've used my platform irresponsibly, I will immediately own it, and I did all of those things. So
she didn't even believe it herself. Did you see it? Oh, I guess I'm being a body language analysis expert. Maybe I shouldn't do that. But she didn't even believe that shit she just said. Come on.
So moving forward, I would like to just talk about how I'm doing, my journey and what my life looks like, and do my best to not reference other people.
My whole thing is like, you're still referencing Reese and Mindy and, you know, other players in this situation. You're just not saying their names. So if you want to be indirect, that's your journey. But let's also, you know, think about that when we're talking about, oh, you know, blah, 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 blah. And you're literally talking about Reese, but then in this video, you don't want to reference anyone else. Like, this is what leads to that confusion for an audience member. And she kind of closes out the video by telling everybody that she's not going to stop helping people in the recovery community. Nobody ever asked her to stop helping people in the recovery community or people that are on.
Exactly. Like, I kind of thought that was weird when she said that too. Like, I'm never going to stop helping people in the recovery community. Like, no one ever even said that, Jessica. She throws these curveballs to like, and they're so manipulative. Like, they're just like textbook manipulation. It's just like, and it's like looking back on it now, it's like I always kind of had that feeling in the back of my head when she made videos, and it just all makes sense now. It's really come full circle. Like, you know, when you listen to someone talk and like there's just something about the way they're saying something, but you can't quite put a finger on it. Well, guess what? It just came full circle. It really truly does. Like, taking it back, looking at everything, it all makes sense. It really does.
Housed, or people that need, you know, blankets or clothing or food or money. Like, nobody ever, at least based on what I've seen, nobody wanted her to stop doing that. I think it's wonderful that she does that.
I'm going to stop helping people that are struggling in addiction or with homelessness or with mental health issues, but I have and have always helped them outside of my home.
She gonna be filming herself taking care of homeless again. Oh, like, who does that? Like, I'm gonna film myself helping homeless people. PR said it'd be a good look.
And I will continue to do that. I don't care who they are, what background they come from. I don't care about any of it. If I have something to give and I can help, even if it's just sitting there and talking to them, I'm going to. And that is not disrupting my peace or my recovery. That is helping me, which is weird because I get so much more from them than they get from me, you know? Because what can I give? A hug, some socks, Narcan, and I know that that's a big deal. But they give me so much more than I give them.
The questions came up because of the text messages and all of the shenanigans and bad things that were outlined in those text messages. Nobody was judging her for alcohol, being on a prescription, helping people that are unhoused. Like, none of that was even on the table. So this story that Jessica is on, like, I don't even know like how to even remotely relate or sympathize with this story, because we haven't even addressed all of the actual issues and red flags and bad behavior that was allegedly happening in her home where her children reside. I want to read a few of the comments that I saved, and just to kind of show you guys the other side of kind of how people are feeling. There was so much support, and you guys can probably assume what those comments look like. But this one comment that I saved says, "Get the help you need and stop with this charade. I've been a sub since you had 3,000 followers. You need to be honest and get off the platform. It's not a good look." And Jessica actually responded to this person and said, "The only help I need is trauma therapy." And
it means zero, squash. It's negatives. It's negative 20. Her word is negative 20. And all this mumbo jumbo about, you know, freaking PTSD, trauma therapy, this and that. They're just all big words to dress up things, to spin her narrative to go the way she wants it to go. None of it's remotely related in reality, as we've seen. Everything she says is just wheels to spin her own narrative. It typically, what I've noticed, like, nothing that comes out of Jessica's mouth is really anything of any substance. It's basically just a vehicle to drive her agenda. That's what words are to her on YouTube, at least. I don't know her in real life, but at least the stuff she says on YouTube, it's like she's a freaking politician, literally. Like, she's worse than politician. Like, it's just, yeah, it's, I don't know.
But Jessica has been messy in comments. And I've discussed that over my last few videos as well, which of course I'll link down below. But sometimes it's better to just not even reply. If this is the reply that you're going to come up with, it would have probably just been better left unsaid and ignored. Because that's not the help that she's talking about. The next comment said, "Honestly, I watched since 400 subscribers, but I just can't anymore. Something seems off, and every time someone points out inconsistencies, there is backpedaling and victimization, and that comes off as very manipulative to me personally." Another comment said, "Stop moving goalposts and get real help." Another one said, "We can only blame others for our own choices so much. All the little jabs at you know who isn't a good look on you, Jess. Please own up and own up fully. Until then, you will continue to take steps backwards." And the last comment that I saved is a little longer, but this person said, "This feels like a bunch of deflection, attention grabbing, and hypocrisy. You were so reckless in your last video. You are emboldening addicts to push the envelope because you are. In the same breath, you are saying you aren't part of the recovery community. You never address the screenshots because you don't want, quote, drama."
It's just so funny, though, how she builds this YouTube empire, her cash cow, and she's a part of the recovery community the whole time up until 800,000 subscribers. But now, conveniently, when you've been accused of using, no, I'm not in the recovery community anymore. Nope. It's just like,
Insert
sad.
eye roll. And you're spinning this, trying to act like the mature one, when you have literally blasted everyone's lives and have been incredibly petty very recently. You feel the need to prove something to the point you video yourself watching stuff about you and then also helping others. I'm not buying it at all.
Some people that I know that have struggled with homelessness or currently homeless saw some of the drama online and asked me if I was okay. And they have so much more to worry about than online.
Hey, KS, I saw your comment, and I'll get to the comments right
drama.
now.
I was like, girl, what? Am I okay? Are you okay? It's cold as hell in Chicago. It was really hard to have someone ask me, you know.
So she starts doing her crying thing while she just filmed herself helping people. It's just, the manipulation is just so real with this girl. And you know what? The dark light always or what is it? The truth always comes out, and you know, it really is rearing its head with this situation. Like, we've really seen the real person she is, or currently is. I'm not saying she can't get better. I hope she does get better. But her behavior is so skewed in her thought process and the way she does things. Like, she needs some serious freaking therapy. Like, she's not right in the head, you guys. Like, I'm starting to actually realize this now. Like, it's not even just the drug use. It's like there is literally something just like fundamentally wrong with the way she behaves, thinks, acts, speaks, everything. Like, everything is a smokescreen. Everything is a manipulation, a way to paint her narrative. It like, she really truly does. And, you know, I kind of laughed when she said trauma therapy. No, she needs like cognitive behavioral therapy or whatever the case is, because like, everything she does is just so ridiculously manipulative. And just, you know, I've already said it a million times, but it's just, wow.
In person, are you okay? I saw this stuff going on online. I'm not trying to be emotional, but this is my life, you know, it's my whole life.
Here are my final thoughts, kind of in no particular order. Number one, having a party is not community outreach or harm reduction. Having people partying in your house and having a good time has nothing to do with helping people in your community that need the help. Secondly, nobody has heard from Reese in this, and as a commentary channel, I like to try to keep things as fair as possible. And I've heard a lot from Jessica, and I've listened with open ears and an open heart. I would also, just to keep things fair, I would love to hear from Reese.
Me too.
And I don't know if we will ever hear from him. Not really my, decision to make. But I am curious, just because I like to hear both sides of the story. This has been the Jessica Show. We've heard everything there is to hear about Reese and everybody else and her and how she's feeling and what he did and how he did this. In all fairness, I would like to hear the other side of this situation, just out of my own curiosity. And I don't think that it needs to be a bunch of oversharing and mudslinging or anything like that. But with so much out there from Jessica, I just think that my brain is curious. I'm not saying that it needs to happen, but my curiosity is kind of like, well, what is the other side of this? I hope that makes sense.
Okay, we're going to stop there, guys. That's a very good point. I love to see old Alabama Reese get on the channel, you know what I mean? I love to see old Alabama. Where old Arkansas Reese? Reese, where are you, buddy? Come on the show. Come on the show. No, seriously though, Reese, if Reese is somehow watching, or someone who knows Reese, shoot me on a DM on Instagram at lukegtv. I'd love to hear your side of the story, man. I think it's really unfair how for months and months and months Jessica has constantly been slandering you and saying all this stuff, all these allegations, and you don't actually have a chance to defend yourself. So I really think Reese needs a platform. He needs to share his side of the story. Or maybe he doesn't. He probably just wants to forget all about this. This probably is really sucky for him. And I really, man, I think, I don't know, man. I truly kind of see, in my mind, I see Reese as the victim kind of. But like I've said before, like, we don't know the whole story. So I don't know. Just based on everything I've seen, though, because you got to realize I've been following this girl for a while. Based on everything I've seen, Jessica seems to be the puppeteer. She seems to be pulling the strings. Am I wrong? She's even said in other videos that she's like,